Good morning, metalheads of the internet, and welcome to a new episode of the Metal Meltdown. Today we are looking at Curse of Autumn, the latest studio album from Witherfall. But before we do that, I want to say thank you to everyone who has supported me in the last year, who has liked and commented on every video, who has subscribed to the channel, and who has tuned in and even tried to start some fucking shit. I genuinely appreciate it. The Metal Meltdown in the last year has grown in ways that I never could have possibly expected, to the point where I, believe it or not, very recently deposited a check with money that I made here on YouTube. Fucking crazy. Y'all are fucking incredible. I love each and every single goddamn one of you, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Alright, enough of this mushy gushy shit. Let's talk about Witherfall. The Curse of Autumn is the third studio album from Witherfall, an American progressive and power metal band fronted and formed by Joseph Michael and Jake Dreyer of the bands Sanctuary and Iced Earth, respectively. True heavy metal connoisseurs may even remember a time when Joseph Michael and Jake Dreyer were members of a band called White Wizard and worked on a certain little heavy metal gem entitled The Devil's Cut, quite possibly one of the most underrated albums of the 2010s. And while unfortunately this version of White Wizard would implode upon itself very shortly following this album's release, clearly Joseph Michael and Jake Dreyer realized, holy shit, we work really well together, let's go do something else, hence Witherfall, hence The Curse of Autumn. It should be noted though, Witherfall's particular brand of heavy metal strays quite heavily from the leather-bound, sword-wielding speed metal of White Wizard. There is a very mystical and pungent blend of ingredients and spices taken from the worlds of Nevermore, Dream Theater, King Diamond, Crimson Glory, Queensryche, the aforementioned Sanctuary and Iced Earth. There are acoustic guitars, there are a lot of very lush strings, a lot of theatrical choruses and melodies and hyper-explosive, almost Yngwie Malmsteen style guitar solos and progressions. This particular album, The Curse of Autumn, even sees the band indulging in some more extreme influences from the worlds of death metal and black metal. It's gotten to the point where I'm not sure I feel comfortable calling Witherfall a progressive power metal band, or even confining them to a single genre label. They are a very diverse and ambitious band, and thankfully The Curse of Autumn sees Witherfall at their most creative and triumphant point yet, resulting in quite possibly their best album to date. After a very theatrical and ominous introduction, complete with acoustic guitars and some crippling technical riffery, the album officially kickstarts with The Last Scar, a very dark, malicious, and declarative piece of melodic power metal with a very potent thrash metal underbite. It quite literally rampages like some kind of wild animal. There are some very flamboyant and explosive guitar solos. There is a seriously brutal fucking breakdown, and it's all emboldened by an absolutely massive hook. Following track, As I Lie Awake, switches gears up just a little bit, maintaining most of the intensity while dropping the thrash metal element in favor of something more in line with trad heavy metal and very early Dream Theater style prog. Another very strong hook from Joseph here. I can definitely picture this being a staple for the band in their live set in the future, especially with that ripping neoclassical guitar solo. I would say, as much as I like these tracks, I didn't really love the album until Another Face. I think this is the moment where everything kind of clicked and came into place for me, in part because this thing is just so dark and mysterious. It's this beautiful combination of everything that I love about old school Crimson Glory and old school King Diamond. With its devastatingly heavy aura, its very theatrical presentation, and its absolutely massive vocal performances. though the award for heaviest and most unpredictable cut on the record without question has to go to Tempest. An extremely epic and melodramatic number with tortured vocals and abrasive hyper-technical musicianship that somehow manages to find a sweet spot between the sonic universes of Sabotage and Emperor. I'm not even really sure how, but please know I'm not exaggerating in the slightest. Witherfall have somehow managed to strike some kind of balance between power metal, progressive metal, and symphonic black metal, complete with wailing keyboards, tortured vocals, crushing percussion, and some extremely powerful guitar work, including a very brief but welcome burst of straight-up cynic-style prog metal. There's even a quick dash of flamenco guitar thrown into the mix, which I think is fucking fascinating. One cut that's going to catch people off guard for entirely different reasons, though, would be The River, a very intimate and emotionally transparent and vulnerable cut penned by Joseph Michael in honor of his late father. It is a very tender and rustic cut with perhaps Joseph's best vocal performance on the entire record. You can really feel the grief, the remorse, the loss, but also the love in this track. The only thing I would personally change about this song is, truthfully, I would have made it an entirely acoustic number, or at the very least I would have toned down on the guitar and percussion work later on in the track, but all that aside, it's still a damn fine piece of music. And really, now that I think about it, that's the closest thing to any criticism whatsoever I have for this record. Every track is a certified banger with fantastic hooks, fantastic guitar work, fantastic percussion and bass work and keyboards, really great production across the record as well. The album feels massive in size and scale without being overwhelming. The guitars in particular have a very nice crunch to them, courtesy of Iced Earth main man Jon Schaffer, making what will very likely be his last appearance on a record for a while, for reasons that I shouldn't have to and don't want to explain, so moving the fuck on. I'd give this thing a 4 out of 5. This is a fucking great record. I've always really enjoyed Witherfall. I've always really enjoyed anything that Joseph and Jake have been a part of, but I think this is probably one of the strongest things that they have worked on together since the aforementioned The Devil's Cut. This is definitely the best thing that Witherfall has put out to date. It is their most ambitious record. It is their most powerful record. It is their most catchy and engaging record, filled with their best hooks, their best riffs, their best guitar solos, their best songwriting, their best production, their best everything, really. I seriously, honest to God, don't have a single issue with this whatsoever. It's just a great record from start to fucking finish. The Curse of Autumn makes me really excited to see what this band is going to do in the future beyond this album as well, because there are so many different influences and spices on this thing. I mean, I've name-dropped everyone from King Diamond to Cynic to Emperor to Sabotage, and I cannot wait to see the next album indulge further in some, if not all of those flavors, or possibly do something else entirely. Who knows? The sky is the fucking limit at this point. All I know is whatever the fuck they choose to put out next, I will be paying fucking close attention, and you should too if you aren't already. The Curse of Autumn, 4 out of 5, a seriously great album. Definitely check it out when it comes out this Friday. And that is it for the Metal Meltdown. I'm not an expert, nor do I claim to be, so what do you think? Do you like this record? Do you not like this record? And what do you want to hear from me next? And thank you for watching. Make sure you press subscribe so you get updates on the Metal Meltdown fucking immediately. And as always, you have yourself a fantastic fucking day.